you should stop wholesaling. I was just recently on a phone call with a potential person that's about to join our community, and they have a wholesale business. And they said, what should I do? Should I wholesale and do creative real estate? And I said, absolutely not. Stop wholesaling. Now, I know that's a strong statement, but from my perspective, from our perspective, from the experience that we have, getting paid once and the amount of time and effort it takes in order to get paid once is worth it enough to stop. Let me go over some additional reasons on why you should stop wholesaling today. Number one payday versus 3. Is that not enough? We're also talking about short-term versus long-term wealth. In a typical wholesale deal, you're going to get paid one time. You're going to do all of the work. You're going to put in the marketing. You're going to go acquire the property. You're then going to get it under agreement and then wholesale it to an end buyer. And then you're going to get paid once on a very short-term transaction. See, the way that we create our deals is we're creating these 3 paydays, but they happen over time. So when we're constructing a typical one of our deals, that initial wholesale fee that you're getting is just part of what we would consider our payday 1. So let me back up here for a minute, just in case this is the first time you've seen one of our videos. When I'm talking about 3 paydays, I mean non-refundable deposits, 10% and above of the purchasing price. We're talking about cash flow. Is that not every single person's favorite word inside real estate? So your payday 2 is the cash flow, the difference between what you're collecting from your buyer and what you're paying to the seller. Then next, payday 3 is the wealth that you're building into the deal. Now, without getting really deep in the weeds, you're going to get paid on the principal pay down that you're collecting and any additional premium you have left over on that deal. A great place to start and a great resource is our ebook. So go to smartrealestatecoach.com/ebook and dive in, and that way you're going to be able to connect to a lot of this vernacular, and you're going to be able to see how we are creating wealth and building wealth through controlling real estate and owning real estate without using cash, credit, or banks. So when I talk about this is wholesaling is very short-sighted, it's very short-term, and creative financing is very long-term. You're able to build out wealth for the next 3 to 5 to 10 to 20 years, depending on the deal structure you have. Reason number 3 you should stop wholesaling is you have no leverage in the wholesale business. No leverage. It is very short-term transactional. You have a purchase price that you're agreeing to, and then you have a margin that you're creating, and then you're going to sell it. There's no leverage. There's no leverage against the market. If the market shifts tomorrow while you have it under agreement, you have no liability. You also have no leverage in order to turn that into a transaction. In the creative financing space, we have high leverage. We have a particular option or structure that we create called owner financing or seller financing. Now, if you know this may be a little bit redundant to you, but you're also going to pick up a nugget here, I promise. The way we structure our owner financing deals is we find sellers that have free and clear properties, meaning there is no debt on the homes. This means that when we purchase the property from a seller, we're able to create the terms of the agreement, both you and the seller, which allows us to create a lot of our owner financing deals to be 0% interest, meaning that there are no interest or principal only payments that you make monthly. So just to give you an example, if we're agreeing upon a $1,500 principal only or 0% interest payment that we're paying to the seller every single month, that means that $1,500 is coming off the balance every month. That means over the course of that year, it's well over $18,000 in principal paydown, which means that you have massive leverage against the market. See how this can be a major difference when it comes to a market shift or a market slowdown. In the wholesale world, you got no leverage. In the creative financing space, you have all of the leverage. Reason number 4, marketing tends to consist of high overhead. Now, if you're running a small mom and pop wholesale business where you're doing a deal here and there, your overhead may not be that high. But I have sat in the rooms of some of the biggest wholesalers in the nation, and they are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing every single year, some of them every single month, in order to create high volume. And the reason why they have to do high volume is because there's smaller margins in these real estate deals. With us, there is low overhead. With the creative financing space, there is low overhead. we did a poll across all of our students. They are spending somewhere between $1,000 to $500 a month on total overhead when it comes to lead generation, lead conversion, virtual assistants, you name it. Very low overhead, very high margins. So when I first got into this business about 8 years ago, if I was comparing wholesale versus creative financing, it's an absolute no-brainer. Now, I hope you're starting to see the exact same thing here. And if your heels are dug in, you say, no matter what, I need to be a wholesaler, I totally get it. You built the business, you have the business, why not run it? But I'm telling you, if you can start adding in some creative financing strategies, it's going to help you diversify and start putting you on both sides of the fence. So I'm not telling you to choose right now, but I am showing you that it is a true fact the grass is green on the other side.